Hey, church family, this is Pastor John. Listen, I want to share with you an update of what's happening. As you might have heard already, the mayor has put forth rule number 10 and looking for the governor's approval to begin to open up businesses and also churches. And I want to share with you an update from New Hope, who we will be doing, and I will be moving forward in our decision to reopen and do church again at the Veterans Center. There are four things that we want to look at. Number one is it ethical? Number two, is it permissible? Number three, is it missional? And number four, is it practical? These are the four areas we want to look at, and I want to explain here today to all of us so we understand the process and decision-making process we as a church have in moving forward to reopen. Is it ethical? That's number one. We cannot separate the ethics of a decision to reopen without first looking at the command of us to make sure we're loving. We have to make sure that everybody is going to be safe, that the action we take in moving forward is wise and loving, that we're not rushing into something that might put our kapuna or our children in an unsafe situation. 2 Corinthians 5:14 tells us this: we are compelled to love. We have to make sure that we are loving forward. And remember, love always protects. That's what we're going to make sure that we are doing. So we're going to make sure that we are preserving life and not putting life at risk as we move forward in reopening here at New Hope, Lihue. That's what we're going to keep on doing. So my first filter and my first decision and all that we're going to be doing as a church in reopening is to make sure that we are loving, and we are loving people, keeping them safe and keeping them protected. Number two, is it permissible? In other words, are we allowed? So during this process, we may need to make sure that we know the laws and the guidelines that are being put forward by our local government, our federal government, and the CDC guidelines. And we as a church, we're going to obey both the law and the guidelines that are coming out. When following guidelines, we're going to go back to the number one law, which is God's law. And that law is to do what? To love our neighbors as ourselves. So once again, we'll go back to the ethics of it. We're going to follow the guidelines. We're going to obey them. We're going to love people also and make sure that those folks are going to be loved and they're going to be safe as we return as a church. Number three, is it missional? In other words, are we going to maintain our mission and our vision as a church as we move forward and we reopen? If we rush back too quickly, we have to make sure that we're not rushing back and forgetting those that might be left behind. Listen, a rush to return can't come at the divine cost of this opportunity God has given us. We have a mission here at New Hope, Lihue. Our mission is to reach, restore, and release. We're going to reach and restore people with love, acceptance, and forgiveness. And we're going to release hope in our community. And if we've noticed the last several weeks, we have fed over 2,000 people on Saturdays. As a matter of fact, as a church right now, we're doing two services. We're doing a service on Saturday and feeding and uplifting our community, and we're doing an online service. Listen to me carefully, church. The virus might have shut down some buildings, but the virus has not closed the church. The church has continued to move forward. We have partnered with our community, with our county, and we're doing some amazing work. So we're going to maintain our mission, and we're going to make sure that we maintain our mission to reach, restore, and release. Number four, is it practical? There's going to be guidelines and there's going to be mandates. There's going to be guidelines and mandates on occupancy size, on social distancing, on sanitizing before and after service, wear masks, don't wear masks, can we sing, can we not sing? We got to make sure that we're going to be able to follow each and every single one of these guidelines. If we can't meet we got to ask ourselves, can we meet the guidelines as a church of 300 that is mobile? These are the things that we have to think of carefully. We need to be wise in our decision-making process. So looking back at these four things, are we going to be ethical? Are they permissible? Is it missional? And is it practical? We got to make sure we're following these four things. So looking at these four areas, we're going to hold off. We're not going to rush to reopening. I can't tell you exactly when we're going to reopen. It could be June, mid-June, late June, early June. I'm not sure right now. But we're going to look at the landscape. We're going to watch things carefully before we rush to reopen. We want to make sure everybody is safe. Now, for some of us watching right now, you might be disappointed. And I'm sorry for your disappointment. But I want you to understand something. We have a command. Our command is to love people. Our command is to protect them. We're going to trust God. And I'm asking you to trust me as your pastor during this time. We're going to continue to reach people every single Sunday with our online services. We're going to continue to feed our community throughout June and possibly even through July also, with sadly what's happening. We're going to move forward as a church. We love you and we care for you. So I ask that you stand with us. Stay connected with your Connect group. Stay connected in hope and love, and trust the process. We love you and we care for you. I want to take this time also to thank our Foursquare leadership, especially our incoming president, Pastor Randy Remington, for his wisdom and his love for this denomination and for all of us. We love you. God bless you. Have a wonderful day.